Hi everyone, welcome to this new video. In today's video, we're gonna keep working with MLflow runs, specifically about retrieving runs. And the first method that we're going to explore is MLflow.getRun. Now, this method takes a single parameter, which is the ID of the run that I want to retrieve, and returns a run object. So let's run some examples. But first, I'm going to import MLflow and set the tracking URI. Now here, in order to use the getRun method, I need to provide an ID or run ID. So let me go to the interface so I can pick an ID. So under the default experiment, I'm going to pick this run and copy this ID. Now I'm going to go back to the notebook and copy the run ID here and paste the run ID here. So now I can use MLflow.getRun and get the run in this variable. So here we can see the metadata that is associated to this particular run. Now we can use the same method using the MLflow client. In this case, we need to create an instance of the MLflow client here and use the method client.getRun, providing the run ID. So I'm going to run this and I'm able to retrieve this particular run. Now, the next method that we're going to explore is MLflow.activeRun. Now, this method gets the currently active run or none if no such a run exists. So this method only returns the MLflow run if there is a active run in the current Python context. Now, if there is no active run, it's going to return none. For example, so far we haven't started any active run, right? Which means that if we use this method here, we are going to retrieve a run is going to be equals to none. So let me show you this. Here we can see the active run is returning none. And this is because for this method to return a run, we need to have an active run in the current Python context. For example, in this cell, first I am starting a run, right? As we saw in previous videos, this method will start or will create an active run. Now here, I am capturing that active run in this variable called run. And after that, I am printing the information about that run. And I'm going to do here, what I'm going to do here is to print also the status and the name. Just to have an idea of what run we are running right now. Then after this, I'm going to print, I'm going to finish the run by using this method MLflow.endRun and trying to capture the run using active run method again. And finally, this should print none, right? Because we are ending the run here in this line. So let me run this code. And as you can see here, first, after starting the run here, I'm able to capture an active run that you can see here. It's running, and this is the name of the run. But once I finish the run using endRun, active run returns none again. Now, the last method that we're going to explore is MLflow.lastActiveRun, and this gets the most recent active run. Now, the behavior of this method is very similar to the behavior of the previous one. When we have an active run in the current Python context, this method will return that run. But the difference is that if there is no active run in the Python context, this method will retrieve or will return the last run that was finished. For example, in this case, if I run this method, at this point we know that there is no active run, right? As you can see here, this method returned none, right? Which means that there is no active run currently. But since this method returns the last run that was finished, we're going to see this method will return this run that we created in this cell, right? Which is basically the last run. So here I'm going to run this, but first, just let me print the run .info.name just to show the run that we are obtaining is basically the run that we created here. So let me run this, and here we can see the name, the run name is equals to the name that we can see here. Now in the next cell we can see that, let's say in a better way, let's say here in this cell I am starting a run called started run, and outside the context of this with statement I am trying to retrieve the active run using this method MLflow.activeRun and capturing that output in the run1 variable. And here I am using MLflow.lastActiveRun to capture the run in the variable that I named run2. So let me run this, and now here we can see that if this statement or this let's say condition is going to be equals to true, right? Because run1 should be equals to none, as we can see here. But now if I try to print info from the run2, we can see that the name that the run that we are capturing is started run, the one that we started here in this cell. So be aware of the difference between those two methods. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching it, and see you next time.